Red. The two main farming organisations in the maize. Minister tells Gardaí the Cabinet doesn't intend to set up a commission on pay. Australian Parliament overturns euthanasia law 9 months after it was introduced. And the end of an era as computers take over from lighthouse keepers at the Bailey. Good evening. In a follow-up search of H Block 7 in the Maze, prison officers have discovered rubble from the prisoners' escape tunnel in 2 of the cells. The tunnel, which ran for 70 metres, was only discovered when the ground above it subsided. Its discovery has prompted calls for a public investigation into how prisons in the north are run, while Peter Robinson of the DUP called for the resignation of the governor of the Maze. It's estimated that up to 13 tonnes of rubble had to be disposed of by the tunnellers.
Serious questions are being asked as to how this tunnel could be dug under what's supposed to be the most secure prison in Europe. 7 feet deep and stretching some 30 yards, the tunnel had electric lighting installed and was just 90 feet away from the outer wall. It was shored up by the legs of prison chairs and bedboards given by prison doctors to inmates who claimed they were suffering from bad backs. It was dug from Block H7, which holds 95 IRA prisoners. They've since been relocated. The North's prison officers paint a bleak picture of security within the maze itself. They say the paramilitaries run their own blocks. They aren't even locked into their cells at night.
Within each block, the prisoners control their own living accommodation. We do not go down there unless we have a specific task to do. And in some cases, you have to consult with their OC to see that you can go down. So therefore, they basically do what they wish within their own living accommodation, their own exercise yards. We no longer lock them up. They're unlocked 24 hours a day.
It begs the question, who's in charge? Searches at the maze are few and far between. And the DUP said before the last one, the authorities had to give the IRA 48 hours notice.
Effectively, the paramilitary commanders in each of the wings controls that prison area. Is it any wonder under those circumstances that people can build tunnels, probably to the highest building control regulations available for such things?
Claims rejected by Sir Patrick Mayhew.
There is a very difficult task facing the prison service in the maze with exceptionally dangerous people who are sentenced to very long terms of prison.
Block H7 was from where the 1983 mass breakout was launched. 38 prisoners escaped. It was the biggest breakout in British prison history. Among them was Gerry Kelly, now a Sinn Féin negotiator and a candidate for the British general election.
Had I been, which I'm glad I'm not, one of the prisoners who tried to escape, I guess I would be fairly disappointed at the moment. But they do look upon themselves as prisoners of war. They are political prisoners, and they are in there as a result of a conflict, and they see it as their duty to escape. And fair play to them.
The management of the North's prisons is a sensitive issue. The authorities have to walk a tightrope, balancing security needs with the wishes of the inmates. Yet claims that they are left to their own devices 24 hours a day suggests prisoners are still enjoying special category status, which the British government supposedly abolished back in the 1980s.
Sinn Féin has welcomed the move by Roisin McCalskey's family to reverse the decision to put her forward as a candidate in Mid-Ulster in the forthcoming general election. If she were to stand in the constituency, the nationalist vote would be split 3 ways, virtually guaranteeing that sitting MP William McCrea of the DUP would hold the seat.
Bernadette McCalskey said last night that her daughter Roisin wouldn't, after all, be contesting the election in the constituency of Mid-Ulster. Roisin McCalskey, whose only public appearance was at the funeral of Dominic McGlinchey in 1994, is currently on remand in Holloway Prison in London. Her extradition is being sought by the German authorities in connection with an IRA mortar attack on a British Army barracks there. Her mother said it had never been her intention to split the nationalist vote in the constituency, and she wouldn't be pursuing the matter further. She thanked the SDLP for meeting the family and praised Sinn Féin for the clarity and promptness of that party's response.
I welcome very much the fact that the family took on board the particular representations that Sinn Féin had presented, and we, I think, offered an analysis which the family found impressive, because we talked in terms of the big picture. We talked in terms of the crucial significance of a strong Sinn Féin performance for the peace process itself and, by extension, issues such as the prisoners.
But if the decision was welcomed by Sinn Féin, it makes it more difficult for the DUP to hold the Mid-Ulster seat.
She said she would run if the girl didn't get bail. It'll be interesting to see whether the girl will get bail. I would say yes, she will get bail.
Another headache for Dr. Paisley's party today in neighbouring West Tyrone, where the DUP candidate faces a challenge from the Ulster Unionists. Unless there's an agreed Unionist candidate there, this new seat is destined for the SDLP or for Sinn Féin.
The Minister for Justice, Nora Owen,